A very important conversation. Now, joining us in the studio is convener Campaign for Dignity in Governance, Mr. Razaq Olokoba. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you
now,
very much.
This is one topic that, we've been talking about. It's been on our lips. Now, they're saying that they are not intimidated by it. Whatever the government is saying, they will still go on this strike. At the end of the day, we speak about the fact that if this strike goes on, students get to suffer. They get to do longer years in school. In Jos, the university in Jos is saying that whatever is being said, they are not going on with it and they are still going to go on with this strike. But I just want to pick your opinion. What's your take on this whole, ASUU and the federal government?
The whole thing is no longer radicalism. There's a thin line that defines radicalism from rascality. It's no longer radicalism. When you apply the same method for over 30 years to talk to government, and government seems not to be listening. You see, the government may have paucity of funds, challenges here and there, but you need to push it further beyond using the future of our children as a bait for federal government. Sorry, there's no time. We'll have gone through the long history of how we got to the point where the civil society had to distance ourselves from them. Even the LNC, that we said that you can't be asking for salary increase all the time. What's wrong with the prices? Why are the prices going up? What's the manufacturing price, the actual price of essential things of life, housing? They say, no, that's how to do, because of the check-up dues they collect from workers. NSC has talked to that. So labor in Nigeria has become something else. It's become a tool. They are weaponizing it. And that's not fair on the student. If you look at the demands, it's a legitimate demand. But when someone is owing you, you can go to the front of the house. For 10 years, you keep shouting, you have to change your method. Yeah. And they ask us, what are the methods they can apply? I say, look at what your colleagues in the rest of the world are doing. There are legislations. If you are in the medical line, you can't seek for medical aid abroad. Where that ailment can be treated in your country, you can't. But that's not the case in Nigeria. The people in the medical line will keep making us that they will go for ailment abroad. There's no, legislation is to guide us, to compel us to make our society work. The same thing with ASUU too. We told the ASUU that turn this into agitation. So that when our children have similar education, I'm not talking about private institutions, they can take your children to private institutions, and they go with their own curriculum. But the university belonging to federal government, particularly federal government, I don't know why even the state government are joining the ASUU, the university and state are joining ASUU at this juncture. I don't think it is proper. And those are things we have to expose these intentions of the ASUU. They weaponize and they play with the future of our children. There was a particular student, I don't remember the university, the best medical student. So, if you get an award, you will be told to perform. It makes a very vital aspect. I say, why? He said, the ASUU, strike. So that particular point, at a particular junction in their medical house, we were not taught. That's the danger to us. Yeah. So ASUU should not stop playing on our sentiment. Yeah. Strike, of course, make your demand. Yeah. And we have a right to unionize. That's a legitimate right for every worker who is willing to unionize. But should I pay school fees? Assuming I'm a student, I pay school fees. Yeah. Render me the service. Yeah. And that's why it comes to now. The young people at our own time, we have been accused that we don't talk again, we don't lead protest again. Why do you think Ghanaian was the one leading protest that time? Do you think it's Beko? Do you think it's Falana? We are the young people who provided the podium. Yeah. The young people should play their role too. Okay. The role we played 20 years ago. So the students this time around, the NANS and all the JCC, SUG and all the schools, you have to guide your lecturers. You have to guide the government. Fashion out a way they should make that demand and compel the government in another way, not strike, not with your future. This ASUU ANANS is missing in that direction. Yes. You can't leave it to them and be queue behind lecturer and say that federal government, you are wrong, you are wrong. Yeah, that and all that. The ANANS is also faulty in that direction. So there must be direction.
You mentioned
when you took part in the anti-SHA protest, we saw the future. At that moment, it has nothing to do with our life. But we saw what was coming for us. We know by the time we become adults now, it's going to be a challenge. We took part in the 16-hour Babangida's SHA policy that time. So the students should have a projection that this thing that has been happening over and over again, They didn't seem to be bothered. All they are bothered about that, no, we want to go back to school, the government should answer them, and this and that. Because to make it work, it's a shared responsibility.
So are you saying the students should lay a protest?
No. What I'm saying is that they should be guided. They should be part of the discussion. They should keep asking us, are there no other things we can do to make sure that your demands are met by the government? You see, and because the fund that is available, I know it's limited with the federal government. Yeah. But by the time it makes it compulsory that all of us will train our children in Nigeria, there will be a magic to it. Something will happen about the welfare of the lecturer, what the university wants, something will happen about it. When I know that the same university your children and my children will go. Difficult laws are made to make the nations greater. True. Don't say that people don't have... No, that's not at this stage. We are not at that level now. You can't be saying all over the world, this is not all over, this is Nigeria. And if you are not doing the right thing, make that difficult law. As we want to that. They say our brothers in the north will say that we are tampering with the structure of the country. Yeah. So your brothers in the north, our children, are they not in school as well? The former ASUU president has his children trained abroad. It is great. It is great. So that's not fair. Yeah. That's not fair. Yeah. They're going again. I spent 9 years on campus. Of course, I took part and was prosecuted. Yeah. But part of it was also ASUU. I thought we were helping our struggle that time by going on strike. It was not that. They were turning into weapon. And that's why I have served government on consultant basis on labor issue and student issue. Government is quick to conclude that they are being used by opposition, because when demand becomes unrealistic, when demand becomes, they will say, why are you making this kind of demand? When I became a concerned to a particular state government, I understand. 32 demands were put before the federal government, the state government. 32 demands. Let's throw in this question before we run out of time. When you mentioned NANS, I remember those good old days where NANS used to be a shaper of government policies and so on. Unfortunately, we don't have that now. And I think it's because they have been beaten so many times that right now they feel that if they raise their heads, there will be an issue. Now, let us look at the government side. That's the price for struggle. Let us look at the government side of it. You are owing, or you are not taking care of ASUU members, and this is directly affecting the education system in Nigeria. No, but no Nigerian will say that those demands are not genuine. Yeah. They are good. They are very legitimate demands, and government officials know that these demands are legitimate. But there seems to be a problem with communication. So what will you advise people on the government side as far as it has to do with engaging trade unions now, not just ASUU, Pengasen, or the trade unions generally? I think there's a communication problem. The communication problem, of course, governments is doing what they know how to do. It is you that is in another stakeholder that must also know how to engage government. This is not military period. Yes. And the moment Oshiomhole was coming on, but we told him that the part of demand that led before Oshiomhole, what's his name? The demand that led before Oshiomhole. We said, see, don't adopt that method. Military era is different from democratic era. We were in unison opposed to military that time. Now it is a different ballgame. People have stake in democracy. There's no how much you are going to convince me to drag Tinubu's government down. I will not join that protest too. Me, I will not join that protest. And so if you want to engage that government as a union, you must change the way you've been doing things from in the past to now. We told the NSC that, see, of course, welfare is important. Yeah. But the welfare does not lie in the hand of the government only. The private sectors also latch on that. The moment they increase salary, they also increase. And whereas production cost of all these essential things, the food, the housing, the transportation, is not as astronomical as it's supposed to be. What is the role we are playing in that direction? They say, no, they can't do that too. Just because they want to collect more money from their members. Yeah. The same thing with Pengas, there's no difference. So on ASUU too, ASUU's challenge is that the thing that will be most painful to Nigerians is to go on strike and toy with the future of our children. And that's wrong. That's why it's not easy. Yeah. All right, Mr. That's why it's not easy. You make life better. You unionize because you want to use the power of unionism to make life better. To make life better, not to traumatize the life of the student. And the NANS are also getting it wrong. You can't, it's not a moral issue. You can disagree with your lecturer. We disagree with our lecturers on so many occasions. The school authority. Yeah. So for me, if the government is enforcing no pay, no, it's becoming more popular. Yeah. Don't pay them, it's becoming more popular. Yeah. But If the government just said that 10 years ago, all of us will descend on the government and say that no.
Exactly.
But today, it's if you want me to vote too.
Is that happening as a result of the government? Because they've also accused the government of balkanizing, the union, what's it called? Unionism when it comes to pressure groups. You remember after 2022, the federal government recognized the breakaway union, academic unions, CONWA and NAMDA. So I'm wondering, does recognizing that alternate unions whittle down the power, the influence of ASUU in this case, and what implication do you think that has in the long run?
The government should not be looking in that direction now. The government, if government
because CONWA is saying that they are not even...
Yeah, if the government folds the exam now, you will see that Nigeria will gravitate towards the federal government. On this note, if the government just folds the exam and look at what is the scenario now, people are saying that, of course, and the federal government says that this demand has been met, that they are discussing, that is in phases. And for me, if I am a neutral person that want to broker negotiation, phases is what I would recommend. That the difficult ones, because see, the quality of education in Nigeria is not something to write home about. I agree with them. And since 1999 till date, attention seems to be going away from the question of education. And your future and your prosperity as a nation is determined by the quality of education you give your children. And if that is the case, that means that you must do something to compel all of us to pay attention to education. Not by strike.
Yeah, but Mr. Razaq, at the end of the day, they are saying that, the demands that they are meeting are not the demands that they want.
Yes.
They are saying that that's not the demands that they want. That's what ASUU is saying.
Even their salaries is not the regular salary of someone who go to work every 30 days. Their salary is also part of things they use to develop themselves. Lecturers buy on daily basis. They buy. You have to improve the knowledge. Theories that work yesterday no longer work today. Things are changing. Art is becoming more contaminated. This knowledge, our children, they need it. So, but you can't bait federal government and that with the future of our children all the time. Do things that will make every Nigerian say that if I don't do this, all our children will not get education.
But because of our time, let me just come to you here quickly.
And we suggested that put up a legislation, turn that one into an agitation for Nigerians, build around it, mobilize around it that there's this legislation. It's going to be a popular legislation. One day, it's going to see the light of the day. And that law will pass.
But because of our time, quickly, now the worry of many Nigerians is the fact that these people are saying they are not scared, with what the federal government is saying that, no work, no pay. They're saying that whatever you say, we're still going to go ahead with the strike. Quickly, I want to talk, what is the way forward? How can we sort this out that our children will not continue to suffer, and spend more years in university?
That's the language from ASUU from time. We are not scared. We are not, if many of them are not training their children abroad, they'll be scared. They will be scared. Because what they are doing, the danger is that I have a final year students there already. I may pay another school fees if care is not taken. But because they know that the curriculum in the rest of the world is running, you have to look at the model in the rest of the world. And another thing is that you will say that education should be fully funded by the federal government, coming from a union leader. That is wrong. All over the world, the things
they actually also want
what we learn, the money we spend on it is increasing on a daily basis. The things you need to train your children is increasing on a daily basis. And that's why the federal government look at the model of, okay, can I borrow you money to train yourself so that you pay back later? That's part of the recognition Tinubu saw in the way people train their own children abroad. That if it is this fund we want to use to train our children to become doctor, aeronautic engineer, we can't train them. It's okay, I will borrow you money to get the necessary tool to train yourself and become a doctor. They say you can't privatize. I don't know what's wrong with our unions. I don't know whether they compare notes with the rest of the world. And we keep coming to them that we agitate in the UN. We agitate all over the world in the UAE. We go to the rest of the world. We compare how agitation and protests are done. It's no longer in the old method where if you like or not, you must join my protest. It's no longer like that again.
Unfortunately,
so for us now, we need...
They are sabotaging the efforts of the student loan. So much so that some universities are saying that they are adding some money. Even a lecturer was telling the students, just 30,000 naira, you cannot afford, your parents cannot afford. There are some of those stories coming up of universities sabotaging this.
That has to do with the human beings themselves.
And that's why I've been between government and several times. And that's why it is increasingly becoming difficult for government to think that this is not as a political undertone. It's becoming very difficult. The government won't believe you that how can I run out a program something you should be complimenting with good comments.
Yeah.
You are running it down. So, and there are intelligence reports from what you have said, what other universities have said, that the university don't even like that student load. So there are conclusions in the mind of government already that this strike is a sabotage. For me,
Even though
it's
they've
not
met some
sabotage.
demand.
Yeah.
But they are misrunning unionism in Nigeria so much. They are the same armchair struggle is no longer done. You don't have to be lazy about your activity. You can't be doing that. What I did in terms of protest 20 years, I can't be doing that this time again. Things are changing. It's a modernized way of protest now, where vehicles are allowed to pass. I will give you the time to start my protest and time to end it. Not those days of where we block the road and nobody must pass. It's no longer done. So unionism is also modern.
I wish we had more time to talk to you about this, but thank you so much for joining us. It's been fantastic having you on the show. And at the end of the day, nobody should send their children abroad to school and support ASUU strike. At the end of the day, all Nigerian students deserve to be in school. They do not deserve to spend more years in courses that they should finish in 5 or 4 years. But still to come on TVC Breakfast, we will explore whether Nigeria can finally achieve food security. We will take a closer look at the government's latest plan to enhance local production and reduce reliance on imports. Stay with us. We'll be right back.